everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Beyond the TARDIS. I know it's the final one, but please don't be sad. This is to celebrate 60 years of the universe's greatest and honest sci-fi show. We've got two extra special guests, which I'll introduce you to you lovely listeners in a minute. But first, my name is James, and if you like what you're listening to, please find all of my podcasts under Spotify and YouTube and other podcast platforms under Beyond Disabilities, Cosplay the World Beyond, and of course, the rest of the episodes of Beyond the TARDIS. If you do want to keep up to date with all of the podcasts, you can follow Beyond Productions on Instagram and TikTok. So now let's introduce my fabulous guests. First up, and brand new to the podcast, we have Lou, an amazing cosplayer, creative person, and a lover of all things, Matt Smith. We also have back friend of the podcast, Mason, who's the host of his amazing podcast series and does some brilliant disability work and is a big fan of that Scottish man. Who knows what happened to him? Welcome to the podcast. Please can you introduce yourselves? Lou, you can go first.
I will introduce myself like this because I look like a ghoul right now. Hi, I'm Lou. I am a Doctor Who and Marvel and there are some other stuff cosplayers, and I'm a big Doctor Who fan, especially of the Matt Smith era. And I cosplay mainly as Amy Pond, because she's my favorite companion, and I just love her style. I love her character personality traits. She's just so strong, and I love her. And I think that was probably my favorite era growing up, and it was the one I watched the most consistently. So yeah, but yeah, as James said as well, I'm a very creative person. I do creative writing, I do art, crafts, those kinds of things. So yes, that is me. Over to you, Mason.
Go Mason.
All right. Hi everyone. My name's Mason. I don't know what I am. I'm something. I'm a podcaster. I do cosplay, loads of different stuff. Normally Doctor Who. I've done 11th Doctor before. 10th Doctor, 14th Doctor, probably soon to be 15th Doctor. So yeah, I do all that. I do that in my spare time. I like going to Doctor Who locations, which is pretty cool. And I try to do that at least once a year. So yeah, that's me. And yeah, it's good to be here.
Thank you, Mason. Thank you both for coming on the podcast. Mason, I really like your t-shirt. I love you. For those that are listening on Spotify, that Mason's wearing this really cool Doctor Who t-shirt with Doctor Who's in all different cartoony design. It's really cool.
It has all of them. It has even the future of Doctor and the War Doctor as well.
Oh, that's amazing. I really like that. It's really nice.
Cool.
So the first question, let's go right back to the beginning of your memories. What's your earliest memory of Doctor Who?
Oh god, making me recall a memory is stressful. Why are you doing this? I have early memories of just Doctor Who in general because it used to be not a religious thing, but like a routine thing. Every Saturday we would go down my granddad's house and we would have Chinese and we would watch Doctor Who every Saturday. And I did start with Eccleston.
Yeah.
So I do have like early memories of like Rose and you know, Christopher Eccleston and Mickey and things like that. So yeah, it's very vague for me, but it's like it was a routine kind of thing.
Yeah. What about you, Mason?
My earliest memory was well, my brother told me about Doctor Who. He told me you should watch it, and the first episode I watched was Rose, so I'd say Rose was my earliest memory. And if we're talking about Pacifics, maybe the trailer before Rose, maybe the series 1 trailer was my earliest memory of it.
Ah, that's good. Leading into the next trailer. Leading into the next question. I can't speak. Let's go back to the beginning of the New Who era in 2005. And that revealed Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper with the teaser trailer of them running through the corridor. What did you feel when it was finally coming back? And also, did you have any knowledge of Doctor Who before that trailer?
See, I never saw this. So it was just, Doctor Who was just always there for me. It was just there. Like I said, it was a routine thing. So I never had like I saw the release things until I was like fully watching it. So yeah. I don't really have anything to contribute to that. But yeah, I feel like Mason, obviously you saw it. You saw the trailer, so
no problem.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any memory before 2005. Really. So before that, I wasn't born. So
Yeah.
no, but I was born.
Oh,
But I was about 5.
Yeah.
So I was born in early 2000. So I don't have no memory. So all I've known is 2005 onwards. And
Yeah.
people in my family do. Like it's like Lou says, it's like it's like it's your religion, but not
yeah,
like praying, but
Yeah.
more like it's like a family thing. So you go around and watch it. And people in my family, they say they're petrified as a Daleks with Tom Baker and stuff. So yeah, like a lot of it, of course, lots of things have changed since them days.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of my memory of it.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, I grew up during the wilderness years, so and I knew of Doctor Who because I had some old videos given to me like by my family and things. So I grew up watching like classic era episodes, but only a certain few. So I watched like Invasion of Earth, I think was the very first one, but then the next one I watched after that, I think, was Sylvester McCoy with Remembrance of the Daleks. So it was a very weird thing. But then in 2005 was when I properly like really got into it. I was really excited. So next question is, why do you have such so what are your favorite Doctors? I know you said, Lou, yours is was it Matt Smith, I think?
Yes.
Why do you have a powerful connection with your favorite Doctors in particular?
I think it was just the kind of feel of the series as well. Like they always refer to like fairy tales and things, and that's always been my thing. And it was just very fairy tale-esque and stuff, and like just I don't know, I just remember him being, I think 11's personality kind of reflects my own in the whole bouncy, bubbly, fun-loving kind of thing. But I know he can get really dark, but I think that and he can get really emotional, but I think just like the excitement side of it is really what drew me in the first place. And I used to get berated for it so much because they're like, oh, he's not serious enough, and I'm like, yeah, but like he can just be fun. And yeah, so I've always stood my ground with that. Every time people fight me on it, I'm like, nah, like he's got something about him.
Yeah,
no, that's really good. What about you, Mason?
Yeah, I mean, to anyone listening, for people who know me, you probably know who my favorite is. But my favorite is the 10th Doctor. Purely because I grew up on the 10th Doctor, really, and I mean, I grew up with Crystal Eccleston, but I was more connected to the 10th Doctor. And then in recent times, I've liked other Doctors as well. So I like the 11th Doctor, the 15th Doctor, even though I haven't seen an episode, but I just know I like the 15th Doctor. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick a favourite because they're all good in their own ways. But I think I like the 10th Doctor just the way the 10th Doctor is. And I'm looking forward to seeing how different the 14th Doctor is to the 10th Doctor.
Yeah.
I'd have to. It's a really good choice and really good reasons. I'd have to agree with you, Mason. I think my favourite's definitely the 10th Doctor. Like, I love Matt Smith, hence why I'm cosplaying him today. But it's just something about the 10th Doctor that just grabbed me. Like, I don't know why. It's just, I think David Tennant is just an amazing actor in everything he's in. I can't think of one bad thing. But and because of like growing up with the 10th Doctor as well, I think that's led me to like being a fan of David Tennant in general, like seeing him in other things like Broadchurch or seeing him in the play Good. And yeah, I haven't met him in person, so one day, fingers crossed, I'm still hoping for Wales Comic Con on Sunday. I doubt he's going to be announced, but who knows?
I'll tell you a funny story about Good. I went when I met him early this year at Basingstoke Comic Con. There was this fan who was wearing some Good Omens costume.
Oh yeah.
And was talking to David Tennant, and David Tennant, that's something called Nutter in Good Omens. I don't know the actual character's name. So what they'd done was she said she was basically saying to him, I don't like Good, you're terrible in it. And it was quite funny in a way, but it wasn't good because she kept going back and forth, and then David Tennant was like, you're brave, aren't you? You're going back and forward. 1 minute you say I'm good and something, 1 minute you say I'm rubbish. And then
amazing.
I think I think that it was just funny.
That is really funny.
You've got to have a lot of guts to
I
say that
know.
to someone who's been in so much stuff.
I
Although
know.
I watched all of Staged the other day,
Oh,
and
I
it
love
was just
Sage.
really funny them berating David and Michael the entire time. And I know it was scripted, but it's just you imagine it if it was like actually real, and it's just hilarious.
I know, like it's, and the fact that they're good friends in real life as well. I think that's brilliant. Just bear with. That was a really good answer, Mason, and I really like that story about the fan with David Tennant, and I hope to meet David Tennant one day really soon. Fingers crossed. So, as we know, there's a whole 60 years of Doctor Who goodness to unpack. So we're going to delve a bit into the classic era now. So from what you've seen, what do you think of the classic era companions, or as they're called then, assistants, compared to the more modern day companions?
It's hit and miss for me with some of them. Like I really liked Sarah Jane, of what I saw of her, and I really liked Jo Grant from what I saw of her. But like I haven't really seen a lot in general, to be honest. So it's hard to connect with a lot of them. I saw a bit of like Zoe and Jamie, but I couldn't really get like connect with them as much. But yeah, and like also the fact that I like the fact that Jo Grant and Sarah Jane have kind of run into modern era as well. I think that's quite nice that they're still very relevant.
Yeah.
But there's also I liked Ace as well, but I also didn't see enough of Ace to fully appreciate her.
They're all really good companions, and that's yeah, I think that's fair enough. And I'd agree that even though I've seen all of Classic Who, I think Jo and Sarah Jane are probably the ones that stand out to me, and the fact that their journey carried on into modern Doctor Who. Although now with Tales from the TARDIS, sort of all the companions have carried on near enough. What about you, Mason?
I mean, I like well, from the first Doctor, I've only watched The Unearthly Child, but I think Susan, I think is probably a memorable character because she was the first companion ever. So I'd say she's good, like Sarah Jane and of course Jo Grant, Ace, but you got Mel in there. I don't know much about Mel because I haven't seen her, but I know she's coming back for the new series next year. But yeah, it's very different to the companions then to now, because like when you watch it, there's not much music really, is there? But when you watch Doctor Who now, like you have all these soundtracks. Back then, it's pretty dull. When you're watching the episode, so if you're watching it in black and white, it can be quite boring. Well, maybe not for everyone, but for some people it can be quite boring because it's not in color. But I did watch but I enjoyed it.
No, that's a really good point. I mean, how could you forget about Susan? And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I could be proved wrong in a couple of weeks' time, but I'm pretty sure Susan's going to be in the 60th from what Russell's been teasing, like on Instagram and things. And the fact that she wasn't in the Tales from the TARDIS series gives me more hope that Susan's going to be in it. Mel, I'm going to be controversial. Like, I love Bonnie Lamford as an actor, but having seen her, she was a bit of a, I don't know, I'm trying to be nice now. She's not my favorite companion. She was a bit rude, I think, which sort of did match well with Colin Baker's. No, she wasn't. She was with Colin Baker. I'm getting my doctors confused. Yeah, Colin Baker to Sylvester McCoy, I think. Anyway, I think that she did match well with Colin Baker. Please correct me if I'm wrong with my doctors and companions.
I wouldn't know.
But again, Bonnie Lamford is a brilliant actor. But Ace was amazing too. I think Ace is definitely one of my favorites too. And I love in real life the relationship that and friendship that Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred have, which is really nice. That like they always go to Comic Con together, and like the way they just play off each other too.
Yeah.
So here's a big question. I know you haven't seen all of the Doctors, but what do you think of the Doctors' character development from William Hartnell from back way in 1963 right the way to now? Although we haven't fully seen him yet, but by the time this aired, we would have done right the way up to David Tennant as the 14th Doctor.
It's hard to answer that because like the Doctors can bounce from so many different character personality types. Like, you know, like I've only seen bits and pieces of certain Doctors, but like for example, like Tom Baker is all really silly and like fun, and then I'm gonna use the word soft boy.
Please
Five
do.
is like a soft boy, Peter Davidson, and then like obviously I've heard that Colin Baker's one, the Sixth Doctor, is really rude, and so like it just goes like it's like a ping pong kind of effect, and
Wibbly
then
wobbly timey wimey.
wibbly wobbly timey wimey, and then you know, like even in modern era, like Christopher Eccleston was a bit darker, and then the 10th Doctor was kind of moody, and then obviously I said like 11 was a completely different change, and for like all the new fans and stuff, like because they had just started on 9 and 10, and then suddenly they've changed the type of personality again. It's not like it had never been done before, because obviously Tom Baker and his damn jelly babies, you know.
Can't beat those jelly babies.
Yeah.
Matt Smith with his jammy Dodgers.
Yeah.
Although Matt Smith did say about jelly babies in the Flesh episodes when he had his ganger.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I think I don't know. I haven't watched all the Doctors, but I think it's gone through. I don't know who. I don't know if it started with Tom Baker, but it's gone through to Tom Baker, to other Doctors, who have said it. Maybe just one line, but yeah.
Still acknowledges it.
Yeah. Give them an excuse to eat something while we're filming.
I know they must be hungry. That's probably why Tom Baker probably insisted on it.
I'm hungry. We just started talking about food. Now I'm hungry.
I've got some Percy Pigs over there that are just staring me. They should put Percy Pigs in the show.
They should. I feel like that should be 15's thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Have something. Have something else.
That'd be good. I'm surprised they've not released like Doctor Who branded. Although actually no, that's a lie. I was going to say Doctor Who branded food, but I know in the 70s they had like Doctor Who cereal and like rocket lollies and things like that.
That's cool.
They used to have Doctor Who Cocoa Pops when I was younger.
I not remember this.
I don't remember those, so that sounds amazing.
Yeah, they used to have Doctor Who cereal when I was younger, but that went out the window.
Russell, Disney, you're missing a trick. Bring back Doctor Who food.
Listen to us.
Bad Wolf, come on. Bring back Time Fracture as well while we're at it. I'm just going on a random tangent there. So what about you, Mason? What do you think of the Doctor's development right the way through the 60 years?
I mean, I know I haven't watched all of them, but I know each Doctor are different, so they're all going to be different. So they're all different people, which they're all the same people, but they're all different people in a way. So like everyone, like from I don't know, I like how different they all are, and they obviously it works, because we wouldn't still be doing this today if Doctor Who wasn't here. So it's worked all of it, and I think it's done really well from each Doctor, and they have most of the Doctors have a good side and a bad side. They show that. I think it's good when they do.
Definitely.
If they don't do that, it's kind of a missed opportunity. But yeah, I think they've done really well so far.
No, really, really good answer. I think 14, in my opinion, is going to be a lot darker than 10 was.
I see this happening too.
Yeah. I think David Tennant's going to be more, I was going to say broody and evil like Batman. Let's go with that.
I mean, he's been bashing walls and stuff.
Exactly.
But before we started this, actually, they released the episode description for Wild Blue Yonder.
I haven't read that yet.
I'm yet to read this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's on my list to do after this. Please remind me.
It doesn't give anything away.
Okay.
I won't say anything, but you can look yourselves.
I mean, it's like, this isn't a spoiler, but it's like, I know I think you got the. Did you get this month's Doctor Who magazine, Mason?
Yeah, I got it somewhere.
Oh.
I think I put it away, but yeah, I did read it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the episode that was the most brilliant episodes thing ever, because in the cast, for anyone who hasn't read it, and please turn off now if you don't want it spoiled. It doesn't spoil anything.
La 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 la.
But in the cast list, it just has David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and then the rest of the cast is just redacted. And then there's nothing about the episode at all, just an interview with Russell about the episode, which he doesn't say anything in it, apart from some words, which I thought was just beautiful.
In the episode description, they've actually got for World Beyond they've got another. They've announced. I don't know if that's part of the three.
Oh yeah,
like the three people. I doubt it, but otherwise they wouldn't put it there. But they've got this other woman, which she's called Susan, but I can't remember her surname. But it's not Susan as the Doctor Who companion Susan. It's her actual name is Susan.
Oh,
so
Okay.
I ain't got a clue who it is. I know that she was in Coronation Street in the past.
oh,
I looked her up
I mean,
online.
I love a bit of Corrie.
But the good thing what we're getting in these specials are they're gonna have, you know, like back in the day. I say that we're old, but back in the day.
I am old, Mason. It's fine. You froze.
You're gonna have to answer all over again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
Wait,
repeat your story
yeah.
over again.
Right. All right. So what's gonna happen is you're in, like we had back with David Tennant, early Doctor Who, where they would have like a news reporter kind of telling the world what's happening.
Oh yeah.
And in the description of the Starbase, they've got a BBC news reporter. So
Oh, wow.
they're gonna have, because something's gonna happen, and then the world will get announced. So we'll get that again, which would be cool because we haven't really got that since.
No, I hope they're doing back the American one. I've forgotten her name.
Oh yeah,
Wells.
the dark-haired lady.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I can't remember. I remember, but I can't
Was
remember.
it Trinity Wells? I've got that name in my head. It could
might
be.
be.
Not good at
Who knows?
names.
She's going to be called Trinity Wells now.
That's her name now.
That's her name. In real life, she has to change it by default.
Yeah, she does.
Oh no. Sorry, I'm just amazed that I just love like little spoilers like that, like little newsreader, because that makes it exciting. So, if you could travel anywhere in space and time, where would it be and why? What a segue that is.
I think Mason should go first because I'm trying to think about my
That's
answer.
fine. Yeah.
I would travel to 1966.
Ooh.
Or whenever Doctor Who started.
Oh yeah.
That's when I would travel. I'll travel then.
That's a good time.
I have
How
two
about you?
different. I have two different options.
That's fine. No limit.
Although I would only want to be there for a very brief amount of time both times. So I would want to go back to like the time with the witch trials because I would want to meet a witch because I'm really interested in that kind of stuff. And then also I would kind of want to go to the place where I can't remember the name. Apalachia. I would want to go there because it's pretty, but then I would want to leave immediately because I wouldn't want to deal with any of those robots.
Fair enough.
I'd do it for the Instagram post and then I'd be like, bye.
Bye. I mean,
I've been there. I've been to Ali Apachia.
Apalachia.
Yeah.
What a
was
beautiful
it?
word.
Yeah. I saw the fountain. You know, where Missy's dancing. And
Yes.
I sneaked in. I sneaked in because you weren't allowed. They were doing works.
No way.
And I'd be because that's one of the things I wanted to see.
Fair enough.
And I didn't care if people were looking. I just sneaked in. No one cared, and I sneaked in, did a few videos, and pictures, and
Got out of there fast.
Yeah.
Got in your getaway
Yeah.
car.
Because it's in the same place where you've got where the Doctor married River, and it's in the same place where
I didn't know that.
the girl on the fireplace is.
Yeah.
Yes, and actually, an episode of 13th Doctor, I think it was Kablam, where they're on that field. It's all in the same place. So, yeah, nice place to visit though.
I would like to do, like, I know you go to all these amazing Doctor Who locations, and one year I'd just like to just do the same, just like try and visit as many. I say one year.
I was doing it once
Yeah.
a few years ago when I was with my ex, but we didn't go to nearly as many as you have, Mason. Like, you've gone to so many, and I think it's because you have access to a car, so you're very lucky.
I have access to a car, but I'm nowhere near any doctor location.
I mean, I live nowhere near either. But I'll tell you a funny story about one I went to.
Yeah.
It was the church with what's the episode called? The Silurians one. You know, they're all in that church.
The one in Wales. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, we go up this massive hill in the middle of nowhere in the valleys.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy because you look up, you're in the car, you look over, you could fall if
wow.
someone comes the other side. So we get at the top, we're at the church.
Yeah.
I'm with my parents, and then I think my mum's nearly having a heart attack when she gets to the top, because it is scary. It's like you're on a roller coaster kind of thing. And then we get there, and then the church is locked, so we have to wait. We have to wait about half hour to get in it. And internet's terrible, so I'm waving my phone.
Yeah.
Like this, and
like the old days.
I remember you saying this in the last podcast.
Yeah. And then the grass is not cut from that episode. They haven't done nothing. Like the graveyard, they haven't done anything to it. So I do wonder how they get to these locations.
I was going to say they need a massive crew and the cameras and lights, and I mean, you know what it's like when we're in the middle of Cardiff. I mean,
yeah.
So, I mean,
yes.
How they get that up a hill?
Bizarre, all these locations. I mean, I think they need to move them away from Cardiff. I mean, I like that they're in Cardiff, but for people who don't live there, give them a chance to somewhere else. Do it all across the UK now. They got Disney Plus money. Do some in.
I was going to say true.
Yeah. Do some in Liverpool. Do some in. Well, they do some in London anyway. Do some in Essex. Because apparently where I live is the oldest city
in Manchester and outside Manchester.
Yeah, I think when I went to a comic, it weren't kind of a Comic-Con. It was this similar to a Comic-Con. I was talking to a guy. He dresses up as the Cybermen and the monsters on Doctor Who, and he was saying, "I'm probably gonna get called in the next series to go up and back on Doctor Who." But I'll tell you something. The thing is, I don't live nowhere near Cardiff, and it is a task to get up there all the time because it's always in Cardiff. So you can understand that. But yeah, I think that would be a good thing for maybe in the future.
So get Doctor Who out of Cardiff.
They're never going to do that, but we can dream.
It's true. I mean, now that they've got like the lovely Wolf Studios, they're not going to do that at all. And I mean, it's nice it is still in the UK because Disney could have been like, no, we want to move it to Los Angeles. Like, no, you stay in the UK.
That would never work.
They probably wanted to.
I bet they probably did. Like sort of the Doctor Who movie. I was like, Paul McGann, you're a brilliant actor, but I'm going to say I'm not a fan of the movie. I'm sorry to everybody.
I didn't mind it.
It's okay. It's just not my favourite.
That's fair.
And I love Paul McGann because he's got like some of the best, I'm just diverging now, he's got some of the best like Big Finish audiobooks and series out there, and he's a brilliant actor. It's just I wasn't a fan of how American the film was. To everyone out there.
I mean, I didn't. A funny thing, I didn't watch that movie till this year.
What was your opinion?
I mean, I liked it. I mean, I think he does deserve his series now.
Oh god, yeah. With Russell's writing.
And he would he's up for it. He said in the past that if the writing's right and if it works in the story, what they're doing, he'll be up for it. So I think now, they're doing spin-offs, is a good chance for him to do that. And especially as Doctor's Anderley now, they can do it in between series, maybe like a 6 mini-series, hour-long episodes. I think it'd be good.
So what spin-offs would you like to see, both of you?
I would I would want to see, like, because at the end of 13th era, they've obviously put together that kind of support group of companions and stuff. I would want to see them maybe try and, I don't know, save the other companions that have been potentially, like, you know, like with Amy and Rory being zapped back in time, or seeing like
cool.
their future selves like in that modern day, like try and like track everyone down. And then I would just like to see one of those sessions, the support group
You
sessions
could
that
just
they
do like a
have.
mini web series, couldn't they? Just
Yeah,
like weekly support group session.
I think that would be really good.
Do it on Zoom,
Yeah,
easily filmed. No,
I
that's
don't know
really
about
good advice.
anything else, but yeah.
How about you, Mason?
I would like I already said Paul McGann spin-off. I'd like Paul McGann spin-off. I would like a unit spin-off, which is like beneath a villain spin-off where they just have them with the villains.
That'd be fun. See what Daleks get up to on a daily basis or on Adipose. Day in the life.
Yeah, we're already getting Doctor Who Unleashed.
Imagining that now.
It would be good.
With like Amy, I believe that she's in the 60th. I just think she's in the 60th. I don't care. I mean, you know, in the official trailer where we hear this voice saying "the one who waits." I mean, this could be nothing to do with Amy, but she is the one who waits. So
true, very true.
Man, I hope so. That would make my life.
I mean, Karen Gillan's another person I'd love to meet.
And she posted that she was doing something what was it? Unexpected. She was doing something unexpected. And David Tennant said that to me. He said the specials are going to be unexpected. So I put 2 to 2 together. That basically might say that. But yeah, with other spin-offs, I think like they're gonna. I think they need to make the Tales of the TARDIS better than it is, because that's very low budget. They've done that probably before. They've done that before Disney, I think. I'm not. They might have not, but because all you've got is maybe a 5-minute clip at the end of the start of the companions talking, then you got the full episode of what was.
Which is a long time.
Yeah. So I think maybe how they could expand that, cut the episode out and just have them talking about their time on it for an hour or so, rather than showing the episode. But for new fans, I guess it's good to have that episode there if you have an
introduction, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. I'd love to see a unit spin-off because I love Kate Lethbridge-Stewart. I love Gemma Redgrave. She's just amazing. And I like to see if they did do it to bring companions from the companion support group in. I think that could be a plan. I'd like to see that. It would be nice to see Amy paired with another Doctor to see how she's like.
Yes.
That'd be really good.
I mean, David Tennant.
I'd love to see Karen and David.
Yes. What's Darvel doing now? Is he doing anything? Is Arthur Darvel doing anything?
I never see him doing anything.
No, I know.
We love you, Arthur, really, if you listen.
He's doing plays.
He's doing mainly plays, I think, because
Yeah.
Legends finished filming a good couple of years ago now. I think maybe. Yeah, I think so. Plays.
Have you seen? You know, it was this like mini comic thing where it was this. I can't remember what it's called, but I saw it earlier this year, where you had this comic thing with Amy's dad. No, Rory's dad.
Oh, with their son or something, isn't it?
Yeah. You're meeting their son, and from the future, but and they're kind of explaining it.
Yeah.
That'd be good if they made that properly.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on YouTube very, very briefly.
I think it was during COVID. I think it was one of their COVID projects.
Yes.
That'd be good. I'd love Torchwood to come back, but I don't think it will as much as I'd like it to come back, even though they've teased it in Redacted as well. Spoilers to anyone who hasn't heard Redacted. If you haven't, please do. It's brilliant. But I don't know. I'd like to, but with Gwen leading, that would be good. That would be my dream.
I feel like everyone's going to hate me when I say I never got into Torchwood.
No one's going to hate you.
I feel like such an imposter. No, I never got into it. I don't know why. I think I tried like a couple of episodes every time I tried to watch it, and then I was just like,
no,
the attention span, isn't there?
Yeah, I do think though, if they did do a unit spin-off, they could take Gwen,
Unit. That would work.
and put her in it because for some reason, well, she's at. I think there's a reason why they put people at the front of the universe ident. So you've got. I think you've got the three. I think it's Amy, Sarah
and
Jane
Martha.
Smith, and Gwen and Martha. So yeah, I think they're all there for a reason.
I agree. Russell doesn't, and the team don't do anything without. They like hiding like spoilers in plain sight, and they could have chosen anyone, but they did choose those like strong female characters. Maybe they're going to do like I don't want to say a Charlie's Angel spin-off, but it'd be cool if they formed like their own little group.
Girls team.
That's what I mean. Like, you know, like in the Avengers Endgame when you got like the fight scene with all the like female characters.
Yes.
Do something that, I mean, not just the fight scene, but a whole series around like that'd be amazing. Because I've just read the year, I can't remember the book, I've forgotten the title, but the whole book where they go into Martha Jones and what she did during the year that never was. I think it's the year of Martha during series 3, and like that gave me so much more. I loved Martha anyway, but it gave me so much more respect, and it developed Martha's character a whole lot more than they did in like further in the series. So I'd love to see Martha back.
Yeah, she's got a lot. Out of all the companions, I'd say New Who companions, in Tennant's era, she didn't have. It was a shame because she was kind of this side character that was just there, and then she didn't get enough story behind her character in the end. So I think she would be good at the head of a unit spin-off, but I think I could see her being more in charge. I could see her being in charge of like Kate Stewart. I think she should be the top person.
That'd be really good because you're right. She got more development when she appeared in stuff like when she appeared in series 4, when she was in Torchwood, and then when she came back for End of Time. She got more development in those scenes than she did really throughout series 3, in my opinion. So I think that could work. That unit of tomorrow.
The only thing I didn't like about her return in series 4 was like the End of Time, where she was, I think, married to Mickey, which I didn't get because prior to that, I don't believe they had any interaction with their characters. So I found that a bit odd.
It was a bit odd because, like, at the end of David Tennant's, like, you know, is it Journey's End, isn't it, where they all come together, or was it? Like that two-parter, like it looked like she was going to work for Torture, and you're right, like she didn't even speak to Mickey at all once in any episode, and then it's like, oh, I'm going to marry you now.
Yeah, that was weird.
Fighting Soltarans in the wasteland.
Maybe it was just a reason to get Mickey's face seen in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably, because like it was supposed to be like the whole closing of like the Russell T Davies, I'm never coming back. David Tennant's never coming back. Here we are in 2023. Russell T Davies, Phil Collinson, Julie Gardner, David Tennant are all back.
I mean, just the whole cast of the first 4 series, or 5 series, just coming, haven't they?
Imagine in the 60th that somehow they managed to weave like Rose coming back, Martha, Mickey, the whole entire like gang back together. That'd be cool. So we've had many weird and wonderful aliens and villains on the show. Do you have any favorite villains, and why? Or aliens? They don't have to be villains.
It doesn't make sense when I say this, but they're the best to me because they scare me the most, and that's the Weeping Angels, and that's just because they're especially when you live in a city like Cardiff, or like also like if you go walking around London and stuff, you see so many statues, and it's just like you think about it and your brain tricks you in thinking that they could get you at any time. So yeah, definitely the Weeping Angels, and especially like in 13th's era when she eventually turned into an angel, like that was the most grating. It was an amazing scene, but it was just like she just looked like she was in so much pain and genuinely so scared, and like that made me scared. And then like when she was oh no, why would you do that? No, why would you change your background to a Weeping Angel right now?
Don't blink.
Yeah, don't blink. Don't blink, whatever you do. For those of you who's listening on Spotify, I've just changed my background to a Weeping Angel.
Please change it back.
Are you that petrified?
No, no, though, because now I have to commit to the no blinking thing and I can't do it. Yes. But the kind of I don't know. Stop.
Fine, I won't make you commit to the no blinking thing.
I also really, really liked in I can't remember the episode name. Where they're shifting. It's more another one of 11th's villains, but like the Dream Lord.
Oh
I
yeah,
really liked him and Toby Jones playing him and
Toby Jones is
stuff,
brilliant.
and I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Like an interesting character, and then it like turns out that it's just like, I don't know, an extended version of that Doctor as well, and like his dark side, and I just thought that was really cool.
That's really, really good. I'm sorry for scaring you with the Weeping Angel, but
That's okay, I can forgive you because we are best buddies.
they are brilliant, brilliant like villains. And I played the Doctor Who Edge of Time End of Reality like game recently, and I was playing it at night with my lights off, and I won't give any spoils, but Weeping Angels are in that game, and they do it in the most lovely way possible. And same with Time Fractures. Again, there's a Weeping Angel encounter in Time Fracture. I won't spoil it just in case they bring it back, but you don't expect it. How about you, Mason? What's your favorite villain or aliens or monster?
Well, I was speaking about Doctor Who game. I played that game that you were talking about. I played the VR one when it came out, and I
That's
was
the one I
petrified.
played.
Yeah, the Weeping Angels. And it's a very different from the Edge of Reality to the Edge of Time, because the VR is scarier but easier. It's actually harder not on VR, because you've got to go around all these Weeping Angels about 100 times to get through. But on VR, it's quite simple. You just have to go in a straight line. But Weeping Angels, I remember going to an experience when I was younger, and I didn't blink the whole time. I literally didn't. I didn't. I was being serious. But my favourite villain, I'd say, I don't know. I like. Who's my favourite villain? Oh, is it the Silence? Yeah, maybe I like the Silence and the Bastonarada. I like the Bastonarada because they never come back. Well, they haven't come back
They were
since.
really
It's
good.
like kind of a one-time villain, but Beating the Meat probably be my next one because it's cute.
Oh, I'm so
Beat the
excited for
Meat's
him.
amazing. I hope they release a plushie of Beat the Meat.
Please. I'm gonna try and make one. I think
Please do.
Send
will
it to me,
try.
please.
I'm closing one eye at a time because you still have a Weeping Angel as your background.
I mean, it's changed. The Weeping Angel's changed.
It's changed, but it's still one.
But I can't see anything behind me.
Yeah, but you can't
There's
see the
something
face.
behind you, James.
Shall I turn around? Shall we go full on panto? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look. Can you tell I'm trying to change my picture, but it's going really, really slowly?
Yes.
Oh.
That's better.
Yay.
What oods now? Oods are good.
Sorry, back to the podcast instead of me just playing about with all the fun effects. Yeah, the silence are really good. I think. I like the way that they came from being villains with Matt Smith in series 6 to then you find out their whole motive, but in his very last episode being like confessional priests that make you forget. I also really like the Bastionarada, who, you're right, they haven't been seen on the TV show, but they have been in quite a few games, actually, which are really good as well, like little shadow-eating piranhas, which I thought were really good. But best thing in common is that they're both done by Stephen Moffat, and this, no disrespect, I think he was very good at creating new monsters, which I don't think we've seen since the era of like Weeping Angels and Silence. And I'm sure Russell is good at creating monsters as well, and he created the Scifi, he created the cigarettes. But I think scary ones are definitely Stephen Moffat's, like ones that play with your mind, like Stephen Moffat's forte when he was showmaster.
Yeah.
So that brings me on to my Nice, on to my next question. So throughout the 60 years, there's been like regular villains such as like Daleks, Weeping Angels, like we said, Sontaran, Cybermen, the Master.
Hmm.
Why do you think they keep appearing regularly, and what did you think of like their development throughout the series?
Because because they were there from the beginning, I think. And people just know them, and like whenever they associate like anything with Doctor Who, like if they're teaching like the next generation, they'd be like, yes, Daleks, Cybermen, Sontarans. I like how they've developed the Sontarans, and they made them look better in like David Tennant's era. Oh God, have I hiccup? Sorry. And then they made them look worse again in 13's era.
I know,
And just like the bit where she's like, "Take your hat off, mate." Oh, second thought, put it back on. I just love that.
I love Jodie. I know like people like got controversial opinions, but as an actor and as a doctor, she was amazing.
I agree. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because they're familiar, and they were established from the start, and so people loved them a long time ago, and they've just like been able to play with them ever since, kind of thing.
That's very, very good reasons. How about you, Mason?
Yeah, I think they're good, like all those main villains. But I think I'm kind of bored of them now. I'd like to see something new because I mean, every season we get a Dalek or a Cyberman or the Master.
Getting a Dalek tomorrow.
yeah, hopefully for the last time, for a while. But yeah, I mean, I like new villains. Really, they haven't really created many new villains over the years. They've just used the same ones. But Russell T Davies is very good at creating new villains. He actually created a few good villains like the Bash and the Rada and stuff like that. So I reckon we'd get a few new ones in the new series. But if they did use the Daleks, maybe a series finale would be the best time to use them. Maybe not a bit differently than they used them. Like that Dalek in series 1 was good. An episode like that maybe. But yeah, they've done really good throughout the years. They're probably one of the reasons why why Doctor Who's like it is now. But like with the Master, there can be so many Time Lords. The Gallifrey is supposed to have loads of Time Lords on it. Have a different Time Lord other than the Master. I think have a bit of a break. See how it goes.
No, I do agree. Like I love the Dalek Cybermen, or the classic one, like the Master as well. Some Dalek stories are hit and miss recently, but I agree with you. Like Daleks were at their best in New Who era, with like Journey's End, and when they were like at their most fiercest. And we hadn't, I think at that point we hadn't seen them since. All right, we saw them in series 3. Okay, that's a lie. So we saw a year between them, but I think something like that, they need to have a good writing behind that, like the Daleks and the Cybermen, to bring them back. Whereas Chibnall, at first he was like, I'm not going to use the Daleks, and then he brought them back every single Christmas until Jodie, and then in Power the Doctor as well. It's like he put too many Daleks in.
I mean, I didn't mind it on New Year's, but I just got bored. I mean, you know the last one, I think, where the Daleks were a time loop. I just got too. I got too dizzy in that one. Some people say that's their favourite episode. And I'm thinking to myself, it's going in a circle, man. I'm dizzy. The whole episode, they're going round in circles. They're dying. They're alive. They're dying. They're alive. I mean, I'm tired. I want it to end.
Make it stop.
I can understand. I like that, but it was out of the Jodie era ones, Dalek ones, I'd say, you know, where the two Daleks like were fighting across each other, like with that. I can't remember. It wasn't was it Revelation? No. You know, where you had like the black Daleks, like where it was one Dalek, but then he made a whole new race.
Yeah, that was the one with Captain Jack in there, I think.
One with Captain Jack, that's the one. Yeah, I like that one. I think that was my favorite out of the Chibnall era Dalek episodes.
Yeah, it was a good one, but I didn't think Captain Jack was needed, to be honest, because he didn't do anything. I mean, I guess he was there just because everyone was going to watch it now, aren't they? He made the episode better, but his involvement wasn't much.
Like just assisted Yaz and Ryan. Was Ryan still there then? I can't remember. My memory.
He was. I think it was his last. I think it was.
It was the
It might
last
have been
one,
his
wasn't
last one.
it?
Yeah. I think it was his
Yeah.
last one.
Yeah, because you had that scene. Yeah, because Graham left as well, didn't he? I think.
Yes.
And
I wish he didn't. I liked him. I liked
he was
Graham.
really good. I love Bradley Walsh. Just he's brilliant. But no, I agree. That I think it's good that Russell is pausing like Daleks and Cybermen and thing for a bit. Apart from, but then this, I don't think tomorrow counts because it's like Children Need and it's following on from the comics. I don't think it's not a proper full episode with them. But I mean, for all we know, they might not be in it, even though we've seen one in the pictures. I don't know. Have to wait and see. But
I mean,
yeah, I like.
Yeah.
I think they might be able to, be creative, get some new ones in, get some new threats to the Doctor, and that's where like the Silence and the Weeping Angel have come into their own. Like, I know they're regular villains now, but they're only meant to be one-off ones. So, why do you think Doctor Who has lasted for 60 years?
Because they've had a lot of different character personality, like the Doctor's had a lot of different character personalities that different people can identify with, so they probably get a new kind of audience like every single time they renew and bring it to another generation. But also just in general, I think it makes people feel less isolated in being weird humans. I know it makes me feel less isolated in being a weird
Makes me
human.
feel same.
So
I mean, that's how we all met.
yes, being weird humans.
Exactly, it's the best way to be.
Yeah.
What about you, Mason? What does Doctor Who mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, I think about it all the time. I literally think about it every day. Hence why I post Doctor Who stuff every day. So like on TikTok or Instagram. But yeah, I think I don't know what it'd be without it. I mean, I do have other interests. It's not my only interest in life.
No.
But it's more than a show, isn't it? It's like a kind of like it's kind of a world, really. So yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah.
That I mean, I've done a lot with it this year, Doctor Who, but probably more than others. Because this year's the first year I started going to conventions.
Yeah.
So I never been to any before this year, and it's crazy because you see all them on the wall. That's all from this year. So,
No, it's amazing. I'm like spotting all the doctors and character actors you've met. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It's crazy. And my aim is to meet more. So yeah. Without Doctor Who, I don't know what it'd be. So especially these past couple of years, especially I guess when they started creating these apps where you can meet other people who have Doctor Who, because when I was growing up, none of my friends at school liked Doctor Who, early 2000s, and I was the only one. And as I've got older, I found loads of people that like it now.
No, very good answer. Like Doctor Who means a lot to me. Like similar to both your reasons, to be honest. Like it makes you feel part of a community. Like I've made some really good friends in the last few years through Doctor Who, and weirdly through TikTok, through cosplaying as well, through Comic Cons. It does make you feel part of the community, and I think it's unlike any other TV show or fandom or fan base out there. Like it is more than just a show. Like you've got the TV show, you've got the audios, you've got the books, you've got the games, you've got just the general fan fiction as well. Like it's just loved worldwide, and I think that it is good that finally after all these years they have partnered with Disney Plus, because it'll open up to so many more people, make Doctor Who more accessible. And I wish we could have it on Disney Plus rather than iPlayer in the UK, but that's just me.
Yeah. I actually got rid of the Disney Plus because I didn't watch anything on it.
Nothing wrong with that. There's so many stuff to watch.
Yeah. But I mean, it is bizarre, isn't it? That they've only got on Disney Plus in like everywhere else, but they haven't got it in the UK. We just got the BBC iPlayer.
I know, it's because it feels like like this is from my experience working in TV, but much more people subscribe to Disney Plus than have a TV license in the UK. And Disney Plus as a platform is more user friendly, and they have all their content in like 4K and stuff, which I know not many people have 4K TVs, but the fact that that option is available. But on BBC, it's quite new, and iPlayer is just a very fiddly platform to find things.
What's great as well with Disney Plus is that if you have, this is really random, if you have like an O2 phone contract, you can have it as an add-on, which I did. So
that's really, really good. That's what I mean. It's more accessible. You can't do that with iPlayer. So come on, Russell, if you're listening. But it'll be interesting to see what, because I've seen like the Disney Plus trailer for Doctor Who, and they added more stuff in it, but they also had a cute little Disney Plus TARDIS ident where it flies over instead of Tinkerbell, which is cute. Anyway, I'm getting distracted.
That's okay.
Can you see I love Doctor Who?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm also being distracted as well. My mum started ringing me like halfway through this, and I was like, I can't talk right now. I'm recording.
Only a couple more questions. That's fine. Honestly, so I know we've run over the time, and that's purely my fault for playing about with Zoom and putting someone in the waiting room. So, what would you like to see happen in the 60th anniversary specials? And who would you like to play the Doctor after Ncuti has left in whenever he leaves?
I was saying this to Mason as well, wasn't I? That I wanted what did I say to you? I can't remember. That I had it in my head and it's gone. Amy. Yeah, I wanted Amy. I wanted Donna to survive, like everyone else wants Donna to survive. What else did I say to you?
You wanted
you want Matt Smith in it.
I want Matt Smith in it. Yes, thank you for helping me remember that. I also want to see afterwards maybe like Yasmin Finney's character come into it a little bit more, depending on what happens, because like if Donna does die, she's obviously, it's going to be obviously traumatic for Rose, but if she doesn't, then it would just be really cool for like her to dip in and out of episodes and stuff and be like the Doctor's friend as well. But yeah, future Doctor wise, mine's really controversial, but only because it was controversial with Doctor Who and the BBC at the time, is I would love Colin Morgan to be a Doctor so badly, but I know that there was like tension between them because of Merlin and everything, but I think he'd be so good. I think he'd be amazing. Trying to think who else. I'm not good at actor names, so I'm finding it really hard to think of one. But like, yeah, Colin Morgan's probably my answer, or Michael Sheen. But then I also remember that in stage he was like, "Oh, I went for it, didn't get it." So I don't know if that's real.
That is real. They're really good choices. I agree. I think Yasmin Finney has got a lot more. I think she will come back. Rose Temple Noble. I've just got a feeling they wouldn't bring someone as big and popular who, like, obviously Heartstopper, brilliant show, and put her in for just the specials. I reckon I could see her traveling with Ruby. Wouldn't it be nice, Ruby and Rose with the Doctor? It
would be like best friends. It would be amazing.
I think that'd be good. Nice. How about you, Mason?
In the 60th, I'd like to see Amy as well. I think that'd be really good. I'd like to see a goodbye. This is going to be a goodbye story to Donna, so I'd like her to remember or something. I don't want her to die. I mean, I think someone will die. I don't think no one's not going to die. It might be Donna, probably won't. I don't know. It might be Donna's mum. Who knows? But I do think someone's going to die. If it's a Doctor, if it's a companion. I mean, Donna probably won't come back after this, so it wouldn't be a huge disappointment, because I can't see Donna returning again. for another anniversary. So this will be it for Donna's character. So go out with a bang. Make it as dark as you want, because I think Doctor Who's better when it's dark.
Yeah.
It is, and like I'd like to see Matt Smith in it. I'd like to see lots of Shooty in it. We know Shooty's in it, so I'd like to see as much as him in it as possible.
Yeah.
Wilfred, of course, I'd like to have a really good goodbye send off for his character, which will be sad.
He's the one character we haven't seen in the special trailers yet.
One character we haven't seen in the special trailers I would like to see is. We said Martha before, but I still would like to see Martha in it. I think Martha will be really good. In it.
Some really, really good
and
voices.
And for like a future Doctor, I would actually like. I mean, this will never happen in a million years, because I know I definitely won't. But two choices I would go for would be Jennifer Lawrence and Emilia Clarke. Because I know they're well known.
Yes.
I know they're well known, but it will never happen. It won't never happen. But I'd like it. If it was like for one episode, just have them play the Doctor. I think that'd be awesome.
They're really, really good choices. Yeah. Oh, that would be amazing.
They can play on the eyebrow joke again.
Yeah.
That would be. I love her eyebrows so much. Sorry, it's just they're so expressionate.
Amazing actors. I'd love that.
Yeah.
No, that's really, really good.
I mean, for the next Doctor, I don't want it to be a male. I mean, I just want it to be a girl again. You know, I mean, I think under Russell, make it a girl. I don't care who it is. I mean, even like from sex education, the sex therapist.
Gillian Anderson. Yeah,
Gillian Anderson.
Yeah. I think she'll be a good Doctor.
She'd be amazing.
I mean, they all have a whole sex education cast.
Again, they're all amazing too.
Just borrowing them. Just keep borrowing the actors.
Just do a Doctor Who episode of sex education, or maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe not.
I mean,
what an episode that would be.
We need to get a therapist in here to explain
how Amy conceived on the TARDIS to the Doctor.
No.
That's it. I mean, yes, but don't you think they should just have a love Doctor Who story where just once where the Doctor there's no story to it, you just are in love.
Yeah.
And the Doctor just makes love to the companion, and and that's it. There's no story to it. There's no adventure. You're just in the TARDIS in the swimming pool.
It's feeling like it's gone into Doctor Who After Dark now. It's brilliant.
Mason, it's only 7:30.
I know, before the watershed. Get taken off by Ofcom.
I mean, apparently there's going to be a Doctor Who episode with no like dialogue, or let's just do a musical.
I can see that happening with Wild Blue Yonder. I can see that just being, or maybe not Wild Blue Yonder, but maybe definitely the Giggle. I can. There's going to be some. They've got Neil Patrick Harris. There's going to be singing.
Yes.
Yeah, I do think Gallifrey is involved in the specials.
I agree. I think they're going to bring that back somehow, or restart it, or I mean, they're bringing Scaro back.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I prefer them. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'd prefer Gallifrey not to be back because I'm bored. I'm bored of having it back and dying again. I mean,
I know, just keep it back.
Yeah, I mean, just make another planet up. Have someone on Clom. Go to Clom for an episode, or Adipose 3.
Keep it together, Gallifrey.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because like he is acknowledging Chris Chibnall and like the Timeless Child, so Gallifrey is still gonna be gone. Just it's gonna be dead. I don't know how they're gonna get it out of it. I mean, maybe they will just leave it dead. Fair enough.
Maybe. I think that's a good idea. It's how to stay.
I was gonna say they did use it a lot in the classic series, and it just ends up being the Doctor getting annoyed with the Time Lords again, and just them dying, them forcing him to regenerate.
Too much.
So, which one? I think we started touching on that one, so I'll go to the next one. Describe Doctor Who to someone who's never seen it, and why do you think it should continue for another 60 years?
God. Mason, you go first.
To anyone who doesn't know, hopefully you can see my screen. Just look at that blue box behind me. That's what Doctor Who is.
That is
it's just about
Doctor
a blue
Who.
box. Yeah,
True.
that's it. Just a space-time machine where you just go to different planets, and people die and people don't. Yeah, it's basically a show that travels in time. Really.
I might riff off what you've said
Do it.
and be like, look at that box. You see that box? Open the door. See what's in there. It could be anything.
That's Doctor Who.
Yeah. What was the second part of your question? It went in one ear and out the other.
That's okay. Why should it continue for another 60 years?
Oh, because it could be anything. You open the door and you see anything.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
But that was me accidentally. It's true. Doctor Who can be anything you want it to be, and I think that's why it's got such a massive fan base and such a big family. One week you could have some serving aliens who have little washing up balls coming out of their mouth. Next week you can have all 15 plus of the Doctors in an episode. Then you could have a scary looking stone statue. And then you could have this alien which is actually fat, and I will change that in a second. But most of all, Doctor Who is anything you want it to be, and it's about friends, family. It's about going on adventures. It's about I should have brought the speech up. It's about always being kind. It's about never be cowardly and never eat pears. That is Doctor Who.
Oh, I'm doing good already. I don't like pears.
You are Doctor. You are the Doctor. So I'm going to end it all asking both of you, what's your favourite quote from any Doctor, from the whole show? What's your favourite quote?
Mine's going to be really stupid. Don't be lasagna.
Wouldn't be funny if I had lasagna tonight with pears on it. That'd be weird.
Don't be lasagna.
It is.
When
exactly,
you can eat it, just don't be it.
How about you, Mason? That is a brilliant quote. That's what I mean. Doctor Who's full of silly quotes.
My favourite quote is from a Doctor that it's not my favourite Doctor, but I just like how good they are with their quotes and their speeches. And it's the one with the 12th Doctor at the end of his regeneration speech when he was saying, if you could just be anything, just be kind. And I just love that speech so much. I mean, it's very long, but I credit to Peter Capaldi for how much he remembers doing that, because I think it's one of the longest regeneration speech out of any Doctor, I think. So
definitely,
that's really good.
Oh no, they're really, really good quotes, and really, I agree that speech in particular is definitely I swear that's definitely the longest regeneration.
It's like 6-7 minutes. Right?
It is. I know. Just wandered around the TARDIS as well.
Beautiful though.
It is a beautiful speech. Just never eat pears. No offense.
I don't agree with the Doctors. Why have they got an agenda with pears?
I know.
I mean, why? Why pears?
I mean, you saw the 11th hour. He has a vendetta against apples, custard. Right? No, actually, custard's fine. Apples, beans.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to think.
Close.
Bacon.
Bacon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean.
Fish fingers and custard was the one.
It was the one.
What's the one?
Or vegan fish fingers and custard. There you go.
For me.
For you.
Yes.
Well, that's it. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much to Lou and Mason for coming onto the podcast. Where can they find you both?
You can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Pond Life Cosplay. And James will probably put that in the description. So
I absolutely will.
You can find me in the TARDIS jokes, but you can find me on TikTok, Doctor Who cosplay life and underscore after each word, and then on Instagram I'm Doctor Who is the life, like on my Doctor Who account, and then on my podcast account it's just Autistic Advocate for Crimes, on Instagram as well.
Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to say a big thank you to the previous guest on my podcast. Thank you to Ori, KTT, Gally, Alicia for coming on to Beyond the TARDIS. And most importantly, thank you to all of you for listening. This is the cheesy podcast bit. That's getting edited. Also, I just personally, I love Doctor Who. It has meant so much to me. It's brought me friends. It brought me cosplay. It got me into cosplaying. Just want to say, keep it going. I don't think it's going anywhere ever again. Thanks to like Bad Wolf, Russell T Davis, the whole team. Sound like I know him personally. I don't. And yeah, thank you to like all the fans as well, because the fans make the show. I feel like I'm doing a BAFTA speech now, which I'm not. My mind's going all over the place today. If you want to listen to like my brand new podcast, Cosplayer World Beyond, which is all about Comic Cons, cosplays, and more. The first episode is available right now, where I speak to Amber, who it's a crossover episode with Beyond Disabilities, my other podcast, where we talk about ADHD in women. We talk about cosplaying, Comic Cons, her photography. So please give that a listen if you want to. Both Beyond Disabilities X and Cosplayer World Beyond will return in 2024. So please keep up to date. If you want to subscribe, that'd be brilliant. Hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if you celebrate it. And don't forget to watch Star Beast on 25th of November on BBC One in the UK and Disney Plus everywhere else in the world. Hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and thank you very much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.